And thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. We are continuing on in the book of Psalms. Today is Psalm chapter 4. Again, if you're just tuning in or you missed a day, you can still catch up. These are shorter chapters right now, and so you can easily catch up. So the challenge and encouragement is to read one psalm a day. We're going to be covering 5 psalms a week. And so we are in Psalm chapter 4 today. I'm going to read the entire chapter. Again, one of these is just a few verses long. And so just tune in as I read it. Verse 1 says this, Psalm of David. Answer me when I call to you, O my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Be merciful to me and hear my prayer. And maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you just feel distressed. You feel stressed. You feel overwhelmed. You feel the fear is overwhelming. Maybe anxiety is coming in and you're just like, I don't know what to do. Do exactly what verse 1 says and just say, answer me when I call on you. Would you be merciful? Would you hear my prayer? Verse 2 says, how long, O men, will you turn my glory into shame? How long you love delusions and seek false gods? And he's talking about his people. And he's like, guys, come on now. Like, we have the one true God here. Don't be settling for the counterfeits of God. You know, God, like, why would you do that? They can't do anything for you. Like, how long are you going to do that? Verse 3 says, know that the Lord has set apart the godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call to him. In your anger, do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. You know, it's one of those verses. It's like, it's like piercing because we've all sinned in our anger. And that's something too that we need to understand. Anger is not a sin. That is that feeling. You can have a righteous anger. You see Jesus in his anger turning the tables in the temple, right? So you don't have to sin in your anger. And that's why it says, in your anger, do not sin. And that's where the Bible also says that, turn the other cheek. And that's where it's like in response. Don't respond to the one that just got hit. Because if that response, that's going to be out of anger, that's going to be a sin. But when we turn our cheek, we come at it with grace and with love. And it's exactly how we need to respond to this broken and sinful world. Offer right sacrifices and trust in the Lord. Many are asking, who can show us any good? Let the light of your face shine upon us, O Lord. You have filled my heart with greater joy than when their grain and new wine abound. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. So he's saying, like, all the things of this world, that's going to come and go. The grain, the wine, and about all the abundance, that's going to, but God, you alone. It's only you, God. And I don't know about you, but I want to increase my trust and my dependency upon him. And the only way that I can do that is if I put my eyes on him. Put my focus, I shift my perspective from my selfishness towards God, the Father, who abounds in love. And that's the only way that I can respond to this broken world who is against me, who is against you. Because why? Because Satan is against us. But we can overcome Satan by partnering, by gaining the power, by having the Holy Spirit come upon us. We can overcome anything that the world has that is against us. We can overcome it. And that is my prayer for you, is that you would, as what the psalmist David says, is that we would offer the right sacrifices to the Lord and trust in him. That we would offer, as I shared a week and a half ago for the heart of worship, that we would offer living sacrifices, the book of Romans talks about, that we would offer our very selves to him, that we would increase our trust and dependency upon him. May you experience God's presence. May you hear his voice as you choose to do that today. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.